Alright guys, Matt here from BrushUp and welcome to a brand new tutorial series called BrushUp Basics, where I'm going to be kind of introducing you to some really simple Procreate brushes and teaching you how to create them yourself. In this episode I'm going to be talking to you through a really simple calligraphy and lettering brush. It's really simple to make, really quick to make, and it's really fun to use. This brush acts as a really good basis for other calligraphy brushes. So it's really going to give you the fundamentals of what you need for you to then add on other things such as texture, or if you want to change the actual brush stroke itself. So the first thing you're going to want to do is head to the brush panel, which is just there, and click the plus in the top right hand corner to create a fresh brush. We're then presented with the shape source and the grain source. The main difference between the two being the shape source is going to dictate the general outline of the brush stroke, whereas the grain source is mainly about the texture of the brush stroke. We're not too concerned with the actual texture of the brush at this point, so we're just going to go on to swap from Pro Library on the shape source, and we're going to select this oval shape just here. In the grain source, what we can do is swap from Pro Library, and then we can go down to this blank square just here. So from here, what we're going to want to do is add in a little bit of sort of line variation and a difference in the line weight with the pen pressure. So you're going to head to this pencil panel, which is just there. And what you're going to do is take this size slider and you're going to take it up to around about 75%. Now that's going to create a little bit of variation, but not too much. It's not going to make it too big and it's not going to make it too small. So from there, we're left with something which looks a little bit like this. So the more weight you put through the pencil, the heavier the line weight will be basically. Now from here, you're going to notice that there's these little sort of ridges on the spine of the brush. So we're going to want to get rid of those, and the way that we do that is by heading into the brush panel again, selecting the stroke panel, which is just there, and bringing this spacing slider all the way down to 0. And all that's going to do is, just to give you an example, the higher you move it, you can see all the little individual oval shapes. Bringing that spacing down just brings all those closer together, and all that's going to do is create a much smoother line along the spine. So you can see just by bringing those ovals a lot closer together, it's created a much smoother line and a much smoother transition from the thin weighted lines to the heavy weighted lines. So the way I usually like to finish off my calligraphy brushes is just by adding a little bit of streamline to them. And all that's going to do is allow Procreate to take over and control sort of the smoothness of your line, if you will. So simply by going into the stroke pattern again, onto the streamline slider and slide it up to around about 50% is usually enough. It still allows you a little bit of control, but it also allows Procreate to smooth it out a lot more as well. And that really is it. Have a play around with it. You can change up the texture, you can change the shape source to see what kind of different effects you can get. But this really is kind of the bare bones of what a lettering brush is made of. If you have found this video at all helpful, hit the like and subscribe button as well as the notification button to stay up to date with any future tutorials. And don't forget to check me out on Instagram. It's at BrushUpMatt. The link will be in the description down below, as well as a link to my store where you can find loads and loads of really cool Procreate brush packs for you to try out yourself. Cheers guys.